Hi everyone. So before I make any more crock charms with the back embedded in there, I'm going to try, and I'm getting over a cold, so if my voice is kind of off, that's why. See if I can, oh yeah, exactly what happened with the others. So, alright, now I gotta wipe the dust off. I'm gonna, because this is a darker clay, so that doesn't work. It's a problem I keep having with these. The only way these worked was because I put the backing there first and then glued the piece in, so it's not going to be moving, and if I do move it, this piece will come off. So I think that's the only way I can make these crock charms, is if I do it in a way where they are permanently on, or stay permanently where they are. Because if I go to move them, the backing comes off and I'm going to have to re-glue it. That's the only way I can do it. So, well, it was worth a shot. I'm going to have to figure out some other way to make crock charms, because this clay is a little too stiff for a crock charm, because regular crock charms are flexible. This one isn't, but I don't know how these two worked when they're not flexible. But, or how the light up ones worked, because they're not, only the top here is flexible. The lighting part here isn't. So, I don't know how those two managed to work. But, yeah. I guess pottery clay is not the best option for crock charms. Well, at least I know that now. Anyway, hope you enjoyed me testing if the embedded crock charm idea would work. It didn't. Alright. So, this idea worked, but that didn't. So, I don't know why the wooden canvas worked, but the pottery piece didn't. Neither of these are a flexible material. So, what the heck? But anyway, I'm gonna have to rethink how I do crock charms now. I do have the clay on here, but I have no idea. These are supposed to dry white. The packaging says they're supposed to dry white, and they're not. And they seem pretty dry, like the other ones that were dried. So, it was a copy-paste packaging thing. So, I think these are technically dry, but the packaging said they were supposed to turn white when they were dry. And they're just a lighter color from the original. So, yeah. Packaging was wrong. It was just copy and paste from the two that I had. I had this one here, and one that was called Toscana. And so they both said it'll start off darker, and then when it's dry it'll be a completely different color kind of thing. Both said they would dry white. And I think this one is technically officially dry, but that's not white. And the white flakes there are from my previous creations and everything, and they just stuck there. So yeah. But whatever. Just so you know, packaging says it's going to dry white, but it doesn't. This is not white. This is a tan. This is not white. The white flakes are from my previous pieces. So, yeah. Packaging was wrong with that one. And this is my art safety sheet. As you can tell, it's gotten quite a bit of use out of it. This came in a set of 5 canvases, and it was kind of extra protection in the packaging. So I've just used it as an art safety mat. Upcycling. Anyway, also, dealing with a cold. Think I'm getting over it. But seemed like the other days were better. Anyway, so I hope you enjoyed the update on if the embedded crock backings worked. They didn't. Oh well. I'm gonna have to use my artist brain and figure out how I can make this work, other than gluing them there so that they're permanently in that spot. So I thought my biggest worry would be if I opened the book and it cracked. Nope. Biggest worry so far is how do I get them to be removable crock charms without removing the charm piece from the backing. I honestly thought going into this, the biggest worry would be that the charms would crack when I open the notebook. Dang it. Alright. So, I also used that same fish mold and did a hot glue design. So, I'm going to try this next with the crock charm. But, yeah. We'll see if the hot glue is a little more flexible than the pottery. I don't know. That's a later task. But, yeah. There's an update on my crock charm endeavor of trying to get these pottery pieces to work as crock charms. The only way I got them to work is if they were permanently on that spot. And I haven't tried this style on a notebook like this, so we're gonna have to wait and see if it works. But, because this is a much more flexible silicone than this cup holder here. Like, this is a lot thicker than this. So, and the backings on this guy just snugly fit. Like, one size smaller and they wouldn't. So, I also got this from Peggy's Cove. I went to Halifax recently to see family due to grieving, and we went to Peggy's Cove because that's something we do every time we go to Halifax is Peggy's Cove, and that was one of my souvenirs. So, anyway, that is it for this video of testing if the embedded crock charms work. I wish they did. Oh well, I guess my crafter brain's gonna have to keep on trying. These work, and if I permanently want them to be there, they work, but otherwise, no. I'm gonna have to figure out a new way to try and make these crock charms work. Now, I'm not actually using these on actual crocks. I'm just using these on the notebooks and like stuff like that. So I thought pottery would be okay. Because, you know, it's not being walked in. It's less likely to break. Right? And I'm still having problems figuring out this crock charm idea. And crafts that have to be cooked in the oven kind of freak me out because we only have one oven and it's for food. So I don't want to destroy it and be responsible for the cost. So that's why I don't like doing crafts like with polymer clay that you have to cook, or shrinky dinks which you have to cook. Again, you have to cook them in places that are meant for food, and I don't want to destroy the element itself by putting a craft supply in there. So I know shrinky dinks would probably be the best solution here, but you either put those in the microwave or you put those in the oven, and I don't have a heat gun, so I can't use a heat gun for it. And I don't know how powerful a hairdryer is. I only have I have a cheap travel hairdryer for crafts, and I don't think that's powerful enough for a shrinky dink thing. But yeah, So, great. Another thing that didn't work out. Dang it. Alright. Anyway, that is it for this video. I hope you enjoyed. Make sure to comment, like, subscribe, and I hope you have a fantastic day. Thank you for watching.